good evening. We begin tonight at 5 o'clock with the state's first confirmed case of measles and concern that more people here in Indiana potentially could get infected.
An unvaccinated child in Allen County is now stable and recovering. The State Department of Health says just one case is considered an outbreak because measles spreads so fast. So tonight we want to give you key information about prevention.
Jenny Renovich joins us live in studio after talking with a pediatrician today about the key points of what parents need to know. Jenny?
Yeah, the most important thing, guys, make sure your child is vaccinated. We're talking about the MMR vaccines. Doctors say vaccination equals safety from the spread. Measles is one of the most contagious illnesses out there. It can stay in a room 2 hours after an infected person leaves the room. It also comes with serious complications. What starts with a bad cough, severe runny nose, and very red eyes can lead to permanent brain damage, even death. Dr. Eric Yancey, a pediatrician here in Indianapolis, says he's troubled by the trend of measles cases growing nationwide. A shocking comeback for a disease that was essentially eliminated 25 years ago because of vaccines. But doctors say disinformation is leading to an alarming rise in cases now. So doctors are having conversations with parents, debunking myths, and making sure young patients stay safe.
These are effective and safe vaccines. Millions of doses have been given. The absolute necessity to get your child vaccinated. That's the only real prevention for this. We can talk about herd immunity and natural occurring immunity after a disease. The problem with that is, yeah, you may get some natural immunity after measles if it doesn't kill you first.
Some sobering words from the doctor there. Want to let you know the MMR vaccine is usually given to children between 12 and 15 months, then a booster at age 4. But if you are not vaccinated right now, you can get the vaccine at any age. And I want to let you know there's actually a free mobile vaccination clinic that's happening tomorrow. That's in Johnson County at the fairgrounds. We have all that info on WTHR.com.
That's the most important thing. Arm yourself with info.
Right.
Yeah.
And thanks for all that information, and good news that this child up in the Fort Wayne area is recovering. That's the best part.
It is important news.
All right. Thank you, Jenny.
And tonight we're learning doctors have diagnosed more than 600 people across the country with measles this year. Most
of the cases are in the state of Texas, where right now they estimate there are more than 500 cases. The Texas Department of State Health Services has now identified 505 cases since the outbreak began in late January.
And 351 of those people are under the age of 18, with 160 of those cases being kids under 5. 2 children have died. As far as doctors know, just 10 of the people diagnosed were vaccinated. And let's give you some perspective here, and it's on the history of measles in the U.S. Listen.
Back in 1912, the government required healthcare providers to report diagnosed cases. An average of 6,000 measles-related deaths were reported each year from 1912 through 1922. Doctors diagnosed 3 to 4 million people with measles each year between 1950 to 1959, and 48,000 of those people ended up in the hospital. The measles vaccine then became available in 1963, and by 1981, the number of reported cases dropped by 80%. Then in the year 2000, the measles was considered eliminated in the U.S.
Now to another health concern that experts are looking into. Children who are considering or planning suicide remains one of the top 3 causes of death for children between the ages of 10 to 19. That was one of the findings announced during today's Marion County State of the Child address. The information comes from the Indiana Youth Institute's 2025 Indiana Kids Count data book. In the book, in 2022, it says we saw a 32% decrease from 2021 when it comes to children considering or planning suicide. Now, despite this increase, we can all agree that 1 is just too many. And numbers for children reporting depression decreased, but a third of children say they still are feeling that extreme emotion.
32.7% of our kids that were reported feelings of depression. And that's still a significant number of our children. And that's a data indicator that we would want to get down to 0. So it's definitely a celebration of success that students are reporting better feelings related to their mental health, but there are still over a third of our youth in Marion County in particular are reporting those feelings.
And I just want to clarify the data in case I misspoke. It is decreasing. They want it to keep going down. The Indiana Youth Institute is continuing its tour of the state, getting to a number of counties to share their data with youth workers and decision makers. The group's next presentation is in Crawfordsville Thursday to present to Montgomery County stakeholders, and it'll be at the Hoosier Heartland State Bank Success Center. More info can be found on our website at WTHR.com/scene-on-13. Ladies?
Thanks so much, Felicia. It's now 5:05. Let's take a live look outside. The good thing about today is we've got that blue skies and that bright sunshine, but man, is it cold out there.
Oh, it does not feel how it looks. There was another freeze warning that issued. Angela, are we still under that?
Yes, we'll go back under it tonight and early tomorrow morning. I know. I know. I'm done with my coat too.
Yes,
temperatures were in the 20s this morning. We'll be upper 20s, low 30s early tomorrow. The sunshine did help today, but we've struggled most of the afternoon. Only in the 40s right now. We have 43 degrees in Greensburg, 44 Brown County, 43 Bunker Hill, and 41 degrees Morris Reservoir. Skies will be mainly clear with just a few of those clouds over the next few hours, and temperatures will stay in the low 40s. So if you're coming downtown Indianapolis, it is jacket weather as we get ready to cheer on our Pacers. That is the 7 o'clock tip. Overnight temperatures, upper 20s and low 30s, will be near 30, but a lot of locations in the 20s again early tomorrow morning. So again, if you have flowers or things blooming that you'd like to protect, you're going to need to bring them in or cover them up tonight. Nothing weather-wise to slow you down early tomorrow, but throw the umbrella in. You won't need it tomorrow morning. You will need it come tomorrow afternoon. Anytime around lunchtime, showers will develop. Not quite as cold as temperatures make it back into the 50s, but umbrella weather the next couple of days. I'll have the timeline with Future Track 13 in just a few minutes.
All right, Angela, thanks so much. We'll check back. Well, also tonight, some good news. We're starting to learn of some roads that are reopening as the high flood waters recede.
State Road 46 is now open in and out of Columbus. And this is what the road looked like yesterday. You can see the flooding covering it in this shot from Drone Cam 13.
Now keep in mind, the Bartholomew County Sheriff says if you are taking 46, you cannot enter or exit I-65 using the ramps there that require lights, because the lights at this hour are still out tonight.
The Sheriff's Office also sharing an update on County Road 325 West from State Road 46 to Lowell Road to US 31. So it can now be used to go to and from Columbus on the west side of the county.
But as you see from these pictures that were provided to us by the Sheriff's Office, there still is some light standing water on the road, and there's a little bit of debris as well.
Keep that in mind as you're traveling. And then tonight, the city of Carmel is hosting a community cleanup nearly a week after a tornado hit the area.
Our crews checked out the progress that they're making to the north in Hamilton County today as they recover from that EF1 tornado that came through last Wednesday. The strong winds destroyed several homes, brought down a lot of trees, and that cleanup continues tonight. Also tonight, we're working to get an update from IMPD on a closure that involves a stretch of Mass Ave on the east side of Indianapolis. It's because of a crash involving several cars around 6 o'clock this morning. They caused a fire hydrant there to leak, and the water then covered a portion of Mass Ave just east of Emerson on the east side. Officers blocked Mass Ave between Emerson and North Ritter as crews are working to clean it up. Also tonight, an Indiana state lawmaker is now calling for the lieutenant governor to trade in a top-of-the-line SUV that was bought with state money and to trade it in to get a more reasonably priced vehicle for his office use. So this is the kind of purchase that soon would be illegal under a new legislation that was just signed into law this month.
Rich and I talked to the state representative who has recently engaged in a social media war with Micah Beckwith over his ride bought with tax dollars.
The Senate will come to order.
Micah Beckwith presides over the state Senate as lieutenant governor. He was at the podium Tuesday afternoon, and I was told therefore unavailable for comment on the cost of his state-purchased vehicle. Beckwith is traveling Indiana in a top-of-the-line Chevy Tahoe High Country like this. State records show the SUV was bought in February for almost $88,000. State Representative Mitch Gore-sponsored legislation passed this session that says state offices can only buy standard model vehicles and no vehicles from a luxury brand.
It just says that if you get a Tahoe, it can't be the highest trim level like he got, right? And you can get a Tahoe, but you can't get an Escalade, is also what my bill says, or you can't get a Yukon Denali like the Secretary of State has. It just says be reasonable.
But the law does not take effect until July 1st. The Office of Secretary of State Diego Morales bought a $90,000 GMC Yukon Denali last summer.
Representative Gore says that under his legislation, a state agency purchasing a vehicle like the one the Beckwith office is using will be illegal.
It was so expensive, he could trade it in at a slight loss, buy a brand new base model, and the state would still come out ahead. So that's what he and the Secretary should do. They should return these cars, get a reasonable one, return some money to state coffers.
Gore and Beckwith are trading barbs on social media.
Recently, the Lieutenant Governor said that he was thinking about trading that high trim level Tahoe for a Cybertruck, and on Twitter, I dared him to do it.
Beckwith parked this Tesla Cybertruck in his parking spot Monday. His office provided this statement. The Lieutenant Governor wants to show President Trump and Elon Musk that Hoosiers support everything they're doing. At the State House, Rich Nye, 13 News.
Neither the Tahoe nor the Cybertruck were parked at the State House today. The Tesla Cybertruck appeared to be borrowed, not a new state purchase.